the Cone Racing League. After a few technical faults, mostly on my part, we are now here for the quali at the Austrian Grand Prix, joined in the comms box by Glowstick, or Jack, am I remembering your name right?
Yep, that's correct. Hello.
So here for quali. The two retirements you already have both the quali bands, so haven't missed on any big action, any big crashes, as Dylan goes fourth fastest here. But should be an interesting race. Always a bit of a safety car one, some controversial stuff in terms of track limits, which is kind of just, it's inevitable this track, isn't it? Calco,
Yeah.
P6. So first proper round of the season for Tier 2 here. Some drivers new to Tier 2, we've got a couple of reserves. Legend in the Williams, the other one actually I don't think it showed up. It's meant to be DeRoy in the Alpine to join in AJ Wuhan, but DeRoy has not appeared. Only 18 drivers for the moment. Hopefully the other two are able to join. As we follow Nelu Safu around the last couple of corners. Just the pit entry can cause some problems. There's always the issue of track limits, what's going on with those two. Keeping it safe within the white lines. Nelu Safu goes 7th, fastest, just slotting in behind his teammate for the moment. A short qualifying, so drivers not having to worry about the different sessions, but do have to set one good lap.
Where we see T Griff getting pole. Now, if I'm correct, he did. I think he got pole in the pre-season race as well. So looking good for qualifying. Of course, last time out we seen Nelu Safu winning the pre-season opener, and I think it was Creco in second and then Strange third. T Griff was in podium positions, but because of a penalty he fell back out of him, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, I mean, it was those three to keep an eye on, and it's going to be the same again here. T Griff is Hobbsy, first man in the 103, so 103.9 for the Ferrari driver. As I was about to say, it's T Griff, Nelu, and who is the other one on doing well? I'm blanking. Oh, Strange. No.
Is it? Was it top 3 in qualifying?
There were 3 who were kind of leading the race all the way through, and they weren't actually the 3 who ended up getting on the podium in the end due to penalties. But kind of the 3, I think it was Legend, Nelu Safu, and T Griff, so they were the ones to keep an eye on left there.
No, I think it was Creco.
Oh no, it was Creco. It was in the other Haas.
Yeah.
Was it Nelu, T Griff, and Creco?
I think it was them.
Either way, I'm sure they'll show their pace once again in this first round of the season. Drivers going to be taking it that bit much more seriously now. Of course, now there's points to play with as the championship to contend for. Points awarded to the top 12 drivers. Let's wait, see it now. Going into the final sector, a couple more corners to go. Going a little bit deep there, not much. Just missing out that apex. I'm just slow down a little bit more. 4th fastest for the RDR driver, 104.1.
Yeah, good time from what you see there. And Farrell going up to 10th. Of course, it is the shortest track on the calendar. Shortest lap time anyway. So I reckon quality is going to be really, really close, as you can see by the gap between 3rd and 6th only being a 10th between them, which is pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, it's 6/10ths the whole field at the moment, so incredibly close between all the different drivers. Taupe, a driver I don't think I've seen before. Wasn't in the pre-season test race, but a 104 flat for the Alfa Romeo driver, third fastest for him. I think a pretty good way to start off the session. Of course, there's going to be periodic yellow flags kicking off, just for drivers going slow to let other people through. Kind of got to put up with that one. If it covers the timer, 9 minute 40 left on the clock. So Steiny, one of 3 drivers yet to set a lap.
I was worried. It did in Tier 4 race. It was raining for qualifying and a little bit towards the end in the race. But it looks like it's brightening up a little bit, which we like to see.
Yeah, but of course, a bit of rain to spice things up won't go amiss, though I think with the lap times being set, people are certainly using dry setups, not wet setups. So while the drivers haven't confirmed our way yet whether it will be a dry or wet race, I suspect it will be a dry race, based on the lap times.
Yeah.
So here we go now. Steiny, where does he slot into the order? On the back end of it, a 104.6, slowest lap thus far. But, still nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, true. Still very close between first and Steiny.
So Nelu Safu, a 10th green in the first sector, might not sound like much, but with the gaps showing on this grid, in fact I've just noticed Taupe and Ids, 3rd and 4th, have exactly the same time on the board. So
oh yes,
that thousandth, it can make a difference. 10th per second, 20 miles faster.
I would never have noticed that.
There we go, now up to 3.5 tenths. That's looking to be at least 5th position. What can you do with the last sector? A little bit of traffic ahead. That McLaren shouldn't get in the way. You're pushing the limits right up to the white line. Not over though. Perfect use of the track. And here we go, Nelu Safu into that P5 record. 9 thousandths off with 2 on joint times ahead of him. So here we go, Legend coming around the final corner. Teammate of Nelu Safu, he's going to improve here, and he's up to 3rd position. Again, very, very close. Look at those time gaps, ridiculously close.
Yeah, that's absolutely mental. But is anyone else on a lap? Maybe.
Well, Noz and Strange both on their first laps, but yeah, top 6 drivers within 600ths of a second. That is mad.
That is it. Really close there. Now we see Nosey coming through final corner. You want to keep it in the white lines, and he hasn't done that. That is very unfortunate from Nosey there. We see Strange, he keeps it in. What will it be? Coming up to the line.
P7.
7th.
Not a bad time by him. Right behind all those close top 6 drivers. Let's see if we can work out who will be the next man to cross the line. I think it might be Scream next. He's got 2 tenths in him, and that could put him up to P2. P1, provisional pole. I underestimated the man, and look at him go. A good qualifying so far for Alfa Romeo. I think Hobbsy next man to the line, and Hobbsy snatches it back by 1,000. Oh my.
Oh, this is insane. Wait, see. Now another driver in the 103s.
Yep, missed him. One of the Hasses coming towards the line. T-Griff, another man in the 103s. And the top 3 drivers are separated by 3 thousandths of a second. Or was that 4 thousandths?
No, it's 3.
Well, actually, if I go to the interval, it says it's only 2 thousandths. But, my goodness, what a qualifying we have had so far. So close amongst the drivers. Calco in, what can he do? P13, not massive improvements, still found 2 tenths. He's just got himself up to the back of the rest of the field. Right, who else have we got on track at the moment? I think Hobbsy's going to be, he's on an in lap. We've got a McLaren out on track. We'll wait, see, I think he's on an in lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks where he is. T-Griff definitely. Who else? Tope improved the first sector. He's got nearly a tenth in him. Now, if he can get, what does he need? A tenth and a half, or slightly over. I think 17 hundredths could see him in amongst those top few drivers, if I've done my maths correct. Let's see what he can do here. Nah, it's just P5 for him. Improvement, but not by a massive amount. Still a very strong lap, but not quite entering into those 103s. Dylan, he improves by 14 thousandths. Not enough for another position, but any time can be useful here. So Steiny leaving the pit. We'll keep an eye on him. Should be the next man to cross the line if he does not invalidate. But let's just take a moment to appreciate those times at the top of the board. Imagine how T-Griff must be feeling. Imagine how Hobbsy must be feeling, for that matter.
Yeah, Knowsley's still the only driver yet to set a time. Hopefully he keeps it invalid and in the track limits this time. And just see where he goes from there.
Yeah, we've got the brief lull in the action before the final mad dash at the end. The Red Bull pulling into the pits, leaving Steiny the only man on track. And Steiny the only man. It's quite a way off the rest of the field. I mean, if we look at the interval quickly, you can see Tango just over half a second down. Steiny 1.5 times that gap to the pole time at the moment. So he very much needed improvement. As we can see now, 3 drivers leaving the pit lane. Williams has Ferrari. I know Alpine has Ferrari.
I don't know what Steiny's... Oh, don't tell me it's his wheel again.
No, it's his brake. Oh no. His brake's not coming off.
Oh no. Is that what happened? I remember in the last race, I think he had issues as well. In the pre-season he had issues, I think.
That's weird though, because when he gets into the corner, it's almost as if he's... Very strange. But I mean, he's not going to be able to set a competitive lap with his brake on. So, essentially that's his hopes dashed there. We'll hop on board with T-Griff, he'll be soon starting his lap. Not sure what's up with Steiny, I assume technical issues. But a shame for him if that is the case.
It's very unfortunate from Steiny. I think that's what happened to him last race as well.
Yeah, so here we go now. T-Griff starting his lap. All he needs is 4 thousandths of a second to get that pole. Or provisional pole, I should say. Every little means massive amounts here. He's burning fuel. Okay, someone who knows what they're talking about giving us some information here. As 7 thousandths slower in the first sector for Steiny. Normally not an amount you would worry about, but here that could be the difference between being at the front. And no, he's aborted his lap. Not happy with it. Hop aboard then with Hobbsy. Man on the pole. Or on the provisional pole. His teammate also just starting his lap. Ferrari currently sandwiching the grid. Jet and DeWill with their 2 quali bands to serve.
Hopefully the traffic gets out of Hobbsy's way. Coming through here.
Yeah, one of the Alfa Romeos up ahead of him. So Hobbsy does currently have a 10th green at the moment. The man already purple. Purple middle sector from the Ferrari. And this is looking good for him. He's just got to not invalidate. Full commitment right up to that white line. Everything he could. Maybe had a little bit more on that final corner, but here we go. A 106.7, a tenth and a half for him. He will be happy with that one. Now we're on board with a teammate, Knowsley. Where can Knowsley put it? His first lap invalidated. Last time we were on board with him, he only able to go P16. More to give there.
Steiny did improve in the end. He improved to 13th. It's good to see.
I have no idea who to hop on board with. One of the Red Bulls coming towards the end. It's Strange. He's got nearly a quarter of a second. This could be putting him in contention towards the front. It is P2 for him. 700ths back from Hobbsy. Now, is that the Williams or the Alpine who are next to the line? Nelly Safin validated Legend up to P5. Another man in the 103.8. It's the Haas of Tigriff now finishing off a 103.8 exactly for him. Trying to find which drivers get into the line. AJ Wuhan pulling into the pits. Farrell, next man to the line. He's got away from the front and he does not improve here. Not able to find more time. Tope, next man to the line, up to P5 for him. The Ferrari's next. I think it's Knowlesy, next man to the line. And then we've got a McLaren of Cal Cohen to finish it off. What can Cal Cohen do? Cal Cohen does improve up to I didn't actually see what position that was.
P13.
Yeah, P13. There we go. But there we go. What a session. So, Hobbsy, the man on pole, in the end, shown that he is more than ready to take on Tier 2 this time. Alongside him, Strange and Tigriff only just shy of that time. Scream finishing off the front row. A Haas 4-5, Tope making that happen. Then Legend, Waitsy and Ids, Nelly Safu and Tango finishing out the top 10. Then Dylan, AJ Wuhan 12th, last position that gets points, tied on time with Cal Cohen, both at 104.168. Farrell, the only other Irishman, Steiny, Knowlesy, and then the quali bands for Jet and Will to finish out the order. A couple of drivers are missing.
Unlucky from Farrell. He was going like, I think he was going like a tenth quicker or something, and then he caught the curb on turn 9, the provisional corner. Is it provisional? The second to last?
Wait, sorry, say again? Penultimate.
Penultimate, that's it. He got stuck in the curb, like, going into the corner, and just had to back off a little bit.
Yeah, that was a mad session.
Very close.
So yeah, who are the two? We're missing DeRoy, and I think we're missing Victor as well. So DeRoy would have been reserving for someone. Was it Alpine?
Yeah.
Yeah, DeRoy due to reserve for Alpine, and then Kryko is not showed up for Haas. Which is strange after his really strong performance in the first round. Did very well in the pre-season test.
Yeah, he did. Of course, no formation lap, I think.
Oh yeah, which means we got to be on our toes, ready. You see any action shouted out? See what we can catch. Here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are up. And away they go. Let's see, position change, what can happen here? Strange on the inside. I think Hobbsy's going to lose that P1. Tries to hold it around the outside. He is on the medium tyres and he does manage to hold it at the start. No big instance that we've seen as of yet. Knowlesy has fallen down a little bit, but in the end it is Hobbsy holding on to that P1. Strange being challenged by Scream on the outside. Going almost 2 by 2. Hobbsy, a very nice job here. Strange now challenged by multiple different cars. Tigriff and Scream both hounding him from behind. Scream getting through. Tigriff trying to join in as well. And that Alfa Romeo already up 2 positions. Further down, Tango up 3 positions. The 2 boys, the quali band, also moving up further down the field. Let's have a look at what tyres everyone's been using. So yeah, mediums and hards, almost a 50-50 split here. Possibly 2 more mediums than hards. In the end,
I think that's about right.
No, it is exactly 50-50 split, 9 each way. And a good start from Hobbsy. Oh, hang on, what's this action here happening further down the field? 2 Aston Martins getting involved in something here. So Aston Martin, Mercedes, McLaren, Aston Martin in this battle. Although we might have to hop on board with T-Griff. Looks like he might go for a lunge up the inside of turn 3. Decides better of it. No, hang on, he's got a little tap on the rear, I think. T-Griff goes to temporarily there.
Just a little tap from Taupe there, and Calco overtaking Farrell. I don't know what's happening with Farrell, whether he's using a higher downforce setup, but everyone is just blitzing past him, and now Jet making a move on Steiny. Let's have a look. Anything else happening? T-Griff still quite close to Strange. Of course, Strange will have the advantage of longer life of the tyres, but he'll have the disadvantage of speed. But, yeah, but still staying third.
As Scream is setting the fastest lap so far, but of course DRS is now coming into play, and with the DRS zones at a track like this, overtakes going to be happening left, right and centre. We are going to miss an awful lot of them, but we will catch what we can. Don't recognise their name in the chat, but saying DeWill the GOAT. Completely agree with you. DeWill is the GOAT of CRL. Further up the order, hang on, 4P4. Taupe alongside T-Griff going down towards turn 4 with the inside Taupe. And I think he's made that. Oh no, but the switchback, hang on. Is he going to manage the switchback here? Now on the outside, you know what? He's absolutely managed it. Perfect switchback there into turn 4. Managed to hold on to it into the two right-handers of the middle sector. Textbook stuff there from T-Griff.
Yeah, that was absolutely lovely. And now Farrell getting past Cal Cohen, who overtook him last lap. But
yeah, but Cal Cohen, ooh, wanted to stick his nose up there, decided better of it. But of course, Cal Cohen on the mediums. And a slow exit from him, actually. Yeah, DeWill taking advantage of that slow exit by Cal Cohen. I think he'll have him into turn 1 here. Showing why he is the GOAT. Ooh, Knowlesy losing some front wing on the back of the McLaren. And that'll be him into the pits, as we've had a lead change but we haven't been watching. Up front of the order, Scream and Hobbsy swapping positions. I think T-Griff also getting past Strange here. Hobbsy, though, getting the DRS and getting him back down the second, well, I guess the third of the 3 straights in a row, the 3 DRS zones made to facilitate the overtakes at this track.
Yep, and now AJ is going to try and go down the inside of Ids.
Where am I looking? Ah, there.
And they're still fighting. Jacob's still on the inside, but has to see position. And DeWill getting past Farrell. These two battling basically the whole lap now. Losing a bit of ground to the other Aston Martin ahead of Steiny, though.
Yeah, it's Farrell a little bit deep there, and yeah, he really has gone deep as Cal Cohen immediately pulled alongside here. And I think Cal Cohen will have this into first corner easily. Okay, we'll hop on board with Scream then, don't want to miss a lead change. Now is Hobbsy going to pull the same again? He's got the DRS on the second part of the straight. Scream might have the outside, the faster exit here. But Hobbsy's going to use that DRS, he's going to burn through some of his overtake and straight back into the lead. The same thing 2 laps in a row. Almost reminiscent of Bahrain between Leclerc and Verstappen 2022. It's just the same again, using the DRS to his advantage, getting the DRS and just getting him straight back on the next straight.
And there was 3 wide for a moment there between Dylan, AJ and Jet there. That was very close to contact. I think Jacob did make a little bit of contact with Delano, but nothing significant for major damage.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any major moves going on in this group for the moment as Tango, first man picking up time penalties on the grid. Again, Scream going to go for the move on Hobbsy, but this time, importantly, Scream is the man. He's got DRS, he's in the position that Hobbsy was in last time, although a slower exit by quite a large margin. And hang on, what's this? T-Griff in the wall! T-Griff and Strange both in the wall. Missed that entirely, but T-Griff has got almost no front wing. A VSC brought out. Strange got no front wing also. They'll both definitely be pitting here. And my goodness, what a crash that must have been. I don't know if you caught any of that going on.
No, I only seen T Griff in the wall. That's really weird. I wonder if they might have made contact there and...
Well, yeah,
just...
seeing two... I mean,
I
two
don't
cars
know,
involved
it's very
certainly
weird.
implies some form of contact. VSC still not brought in just yet. Yeah, you can
Maybe T
see
Griff didn't notice that Strange was still on his inside or something.
two cars pulling into the pit, Strange and T-Griff. We'll have to wait and see. VSC still not released. Actually, a third man, Knowlesy, pulling into the pit also, and there we go, back underway. 4 cars in the pit. Farrell and Knowlesy also choosing to go into the pit lane, and Scream immediately going back at Hobbsy. They're not going to let a VSC stop them from having their fight. Hobbsy again picking up the DRS, and a good exit from him, using that DRS, burning through that overtake. Slightly less overtake on that Ferrari car, but he's managed to keep the position. Although, is the switchback going to be coming into play? I'm not sure he's got quite enough speed here. The inside line can just afford to cut him off on the exit, as long as he doesn't go too wide, doesn't leave the cars room on the inside. And there we go, perfectly managed by Hobbsy. Really showing some experience here on the track, doing exactly what he needs to do, putting his car exactly where it needs to be, even if the man behind him seems to be flying pace-wise.
Yeah, and I remember having a look at the Tier 2 chat and saying Hobbsy was going to win. Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but he is leading at the moment as Scream backs off, lifts off to try and get DRS for the second straight.
And here we go, flying past. Look at that, massive amounts of overspeed we've not really yet seen before. And behind also, hang on, Taupe. And this might be what the two Alfa Romeo boys need to work together to get through. Legends having a look as well. Small moment there, don't think we've lost anyone. Waitsy and Tango getting tangled up there. Waitsy with the inside line going into turn 4. Is coming out top before the corner itself, and all of a sudden Hobbsy's lost out to both Alfa Romeos after amazingly defending against one of them for a fair few laps.
And oh, what's happened here?
Oh, that is Dylan.
Jacob and Dylan having some sort of contact there.
Yeah, only caught the tail of Steiny's round, I think. Oh, I think Steiny off into the gravel, maybe?
Yeah.
5 seconds red this lap.
I hope he's not having problems again, but seeing at the back there, I don't know if you caught it, but Tango did tap the rear end of Legend that sent him into, I would say a quarter spin, not a half spin, but a quarter spin. Going up to turn, whatever this turn is up here.
Up to turn
that leaders
3,
are coming
yeah.
to. Turn 3?
The little like left kink between turn 1 and turn 3 counts as a corner.
So yeah, turn 3.
It's T-Griff setting the fastest lap. 2 Alfa Romeos still fighting too heavily, but certainly Taupe reminding Scream that he's there, he exists. And he's not just going to let the teammate win it all, even if they will work together for the moment.
Still pretty close though.
Oh, wait, see, hang on. That's... Huh. I don't think that must have been a mistake, but could have only been a brief one. Doesn't pit, so no indication of front wing damage. And something we have yet to mention, it does not look like rain is going to be coming this way. As, hang on, is that Id's mistake from Id's in the last corner, spinning? Oh, again, very hot tyres for the AlphaTauri.
Drops out of the points because of that. I don't know exactly what happened, but very unlucky from the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, I mean, early days is the best time to make your mistakes. There's Dylan and Will fighting away here. Dylan, I think, coming out on top. Not going to go for the move again, considering it. Not quite close enough, and a bit of a train here, and that's what makes it so hard. Front 2 are the easiest in terms of fighting. Most of this train on hards, coming behind them though is on the mediums. The mediums, I wonder if they still have the advantage, or if the hards now coming into their own that little bit more, if we're going to see them starting to have more of an effect.
I'm not sure, but Taupe is getting pretty close to Scream. I wonder if he's going to try and make a move.
Yeah,
Going up to
slightly.
turn 3.
He's using his overtake. And look at that Hobbsy view of it from behind. And hang on, what is this? Hobbsy going on. Ooh, a little bit of last minute move there. And Legend making his case known on the outside. And I think he might have a bit more grip there. Going to potentially be able to box in. No, Legend, I think, is going to... Is he going to get through or not? It's hard to say. Using overtake Hobbsy to keep a hold of that third. See how he manages it. Puts him on the curb a little bit. Not off onto the gravel, but enough to slow his car down. Does hold on to the P3, but Hobbsy does seem to be struggling. And by the way, good job cameraman. I don't know what camera angle you're using here, but I like this one. I think it's a helicopter.
And Jacob and Dylan still fighting. Jacob managed to stay ahead. And Safu and Tango.
Oh my goodness. Let's not kill each other. Nelly Safu coming out on top of that one. Tango surviving another day. Which I certainly was not expecting both drivers to make it through that. Cars in one piece, but they did it. Legend on Hobbsy. Is it going to happen? Oh, I think he wants the DRS. That doesn't make sense because he would have got it even if he'd overtaken. No, maybe he's just choosing to sit behind, letting of Hobbsy try and catch up with the two Alfa Romeos up front. Maybe he thinks he's got more pace and he's playing the long game, doesn't want to fight, doesn't want the two Alfa Romeos pulling away too much. Leo claiming that Nelu is on steroids. Certainly believable given the feats I've seen that man pull off in the past. As here we go, battle between De Will and AJ Wuhan, two CRL legends of old. Been here longer than almost anyone else in this grid. Certainly with AJ Wuhan, he has been here longer than anyone else in this grid. And in the end, Jacob coming out on top in that Alpine.
Very good move from Jacob to get back past the AlphaTauri, saying that he's got a penalty.
Yep, we watch him go wide from behind, and immediately that penalty comes in.
But I am very concerned about Legend's ERS compared to, say, Scream, maybe even Nelu. Very, very low compared to them.
So something I'm just noticing, oh whoops. Jet has gone up 9 positions, De Will has gone up 7 positions. Those two boys with quality bands doing a mighty fine job so far. Strange and Tigriff here are the big losers, both down 12. Hobbsy not being able to hold on to his pole, and Taupe putting on a very good show so far.
Yeah, it's very good racing from everyone rounds so far. Still don't know what happened between Strange and Tigriff though. It was very, very interesting.
Yeah, I certainly imagine the stewards will get to have a look at whatever happened between them there. Let's wait, see. Another man picking up those 3-second time penalties. And hang on, is this a lead change coming into play? Ooh, a little bit deep there, but Scream closing in. He's had poor exits. We've got a Nolsey, spin by Nolsey, out the final corner. That's a yellow flag brought out. Steiny going to get through. But a mistake by Nolsey. As Dylan and AJ Wuhan fighting into turn 3 down now towards turn 4. Can Alpine get him back? I think he can if he doesn't outbrake himself. But he's outbraked himself, and the cutback by Dylan. Is it going to happen? Is it going to stick? De Will watching from behind. Who's going to get it? Inside for AJ Wuhan. And Dylan gets shuffled back. 9th place for the Alpine.
And Nelu's coming into the pits. Very interesting.
Yep, on those mediums. We'll see what he chooses to change onto.
His weight C has gotten past Tango, I just noticed there.
So that looks like another... oh no, onto the hard tyres for Nelu.
And Jacob again.
3 more
another
seconds.
Penalty. I'd say this is one track where you don't want to get a penalty because of just the track limits in general. It's just so easy to get a penalty here.
Yeah, well, and the likelihood of a safety car as Nelu out of the pits and immediately trying to race against T-Griff. Now, these are two very fast drivers who are just a little bit out of place at the moment. One with the spin, one with the pit stop on colder tyres. As Dylan further up the order has got Jacob back, but this is the battle we're watching. P13, P14, Nelu round the outside of T-Griff, and what a move. Makes it look easy against a driver. It is certainly not easy to overtake like that. So into the pits, Tope, Hobbsy, Legend, and a lot of the boys towards the front. Scream, of course, wanting to avoid that double stack. Waitsy choosing to stay out for the moment. I think we're going to see a lot more of medium boys. It's the last man on the mediums to not yet pit on track.
And Scream as well.
Oh yeah, so I meant, yeah, badly worded. Ids and Scream, the last two on the mediums, yet to go for a pit. And here we go, Dylan and AJ still fighting. And hang on, DeWill's right behind the two of them. Is he going to have a play here? Dylan, faster exit. Now, which one of them? Dylan is the DRS. I don't believe that Jacob on the inside does, but Jacob has the inside line again, and what can he do? Small movement by Dylan mid-corner. Jacob able to run him out. Both Jacob and DeWill here have the massive advantage. They've raced in Tier 1. Now, Tier 1 a completely different breed when it comes to overtaking, much more vicious. They know how to play with the cars around them, to position their car exactly where it needs to be. Such a pain to overtake. Anyone who's had experience in Tier 1 or CRL.
Nice Scream coming into the pit lane. It's coming in as
goodness.
Well.
And that's unfortunate for Nelu. I wonder if he picked up a warning for that one. Had to avoid Ids coming into the pit lane, going very wide through the last couple of corners.
Now, will the undercut be more effective? It will.
No, it
Seppu.
won't. Yeah.
I mean, Seppu...
He's jumped the Scream behind Tope.
Yeah. But... and now we see these, Legend and T-Griff.
Oh, and Hobbsy apparently.
And Hobbsy, yeah. Now we see Dylan and Jacob, but Jacob has the inside, trying to go for a switchback, but loses momentum after a little moment.
Oh, hang on, look at this!
Dylan going a bit wide there. And Jacob gets the move back. Back up to P3 he goes.
Very nice by him. Yeah, Dylan looking at the inside, but it's not going to happen into that corner, just compromises your line. DeWill now on his tail, although Tope behind, more importantly, flying past DeWill on those fresh hard tyres. DeWill, sure, not even worrying about it, knowing it's going to happen, choosing not to fight it. In 90 World, DeWill can just follow Tope through it already. Look at that. That Alfa Romeo absolutely flying past these drivers. Those fresh hards proving very, very useful for him. And it's going to be about navigating the traffic. Tope, Scream, Nelu. What can they do with the traffic? Actually, Scream somewhere has got past Nelu here. Is Tope going to be looking to get past Jacob? I can't imagine Jacob going to fight this one too hard. It is just simply not worth it. And there we go, through that first clump of traffic for him. Scream and Nelu then, they'll be looking to get through this same group of 3 cars. They've caught them at the wrong sector, and that is going to harm their overall race time. Actually, tap on the rear of the Alfa Romeo there. Scream nearly taking out DeWill. DeWill just pulling off to the side, not having it, and actually potentially pulling into the pit lane here. Oh my goodness, Nelu nearly getting tagged by DeWill. That was very nearly a dead Williams car there.
Yeah, and Stoney picked up a penalty there. Don't know if you noticed, but very unfortunate for the IRT driver, and he won't want any more of those, that's for sure.
Yeah, so Hobbsy now down to, what's that, a net P4, just getting past Legend there. But at the moment, the net order, Taupe, Scream, Nelu Safu, Hobbsy, Legend. They are our top runners, they've done their pit stop. Strange is a bit of an odd case, due to what's happening. There's some aggressive defending there going on from Jacob. Will hop on board with Nelu, who's going to be looking to pass as soon as he can. Does not want to be held up by this car on the old tyres, but I imagine Jacob will be pissing this lap. I think he probably will be. Yeah, and let's see. Hopefully it doesn't tag Hobbsy. No, crossing the white line on pit entry, and I'm going to snitch on that man. So
very unlucky from Jacob there. And Delano, another one to get a penalty there. Hobbsy getting past Nelu now. That's him up to P3 net. And Tango getting past Strange there. And coming out of the pits, Jacob in P16, and now we have the Will making a move on Ids. Ids trying to fight it around the outside. The two AlphaTauri drivers, and it stays in front for now, but here comes the Will. He's got the overtake and he's got the DRS. Should be an easy move coming into turn 4 on this. Jacob going down the inside as well, trying to make it on the AlphaTauri. Will it happen? He's been boxed in, and a little bit of side contact, but it stays in front.
Yeah, there we go, settling down there. Now, something I have noticed, Taupe has got outside the DRS range of his teammates. Tyres are one lap holder, which could come into play if the guys behind him keep fighting. Actually, Hobbsy somewhere's got past Nelly Safu when I've not been looking. Hop on board.
And
T-Griff
rejoins
looking.
P9.
Yeah, T-Griff flying past Strange. They're not even a competition. Those hard tyres just better at this stage of the race after 14 laps for the both of them. There were of course the two involved in an incident earlier. There possibly going to be some bad blood between them. Very much depends on what did happen between the two of them. Those hard tyres now at a stronger stage of the race for where they are. Now what's this further down the order? Side by side, Ids and Jacob. Jacob inside line. Ids trying to hold it around the outside, and you know what? He's done it. That is not a corner that is easy to hold around the outside. The adverse camber really working against you. But beautifully done by that AlphaTauri.
Yeah, it was very nicely done by Ids. Of course, his tyres are warmed up a little bit more than AJ's, and now we see Hobbsy making a move on last screen, but last screen's gonna try and go for switchback and have DRS as well. Should go flying past them. Alfa Romeos have been flying on the straights. Don't know if they're running a lower setup, like a lower downforce setup, but they're absolutely flying on them straights.
And it certainly helped that Hobbs himself did not have DRS, as Taupe ahead's not given any DRS to rivals of Scream. I'm not sure if Scream and Taupe will be working together. Both, from what I know, new drivers to CRL. I've not seen either of the names before. So this is my first look at them as drivers, what they can do, and certainly showing they are capable drivers so far. So here we go, Hobbsy looking at Scream. Not quite going to get it done, but right up on the back of him, that may actually makes it perhaps a little harder to accelerate. He is faster out the corner, and now with the slipstream, DRS learning some overtake. Interestingly going for the outside. Brave choice. And yeah, shuffled wide, a little bit of tyres in the gravel, that kills his momentum. You can see there the line of this battle going all the way down to P6. from Scream to Tango, though Tango with those, I assume, just 3 seconds of time penalties. Yes, it is for the moment.
I think Jet's just gotten past it's there for P16. Not a very good race from Jet. I don't know why, but I thought he would do a bit better, especially being part of VRL. But maybe this isn't his track. Maybe he'll do better at a different track, you know.
Yeah, well, of course you're always on the back foot at Qualiban, gonna hurt your chances. And sometimes it just doesn't go your way. You haven't got your mojo on that particular weekend. It's not your best track, and you just got to stick with it and hope something goes your way. Safety car would do him good at the moment. Fairly fresh, medium tyres. So that actually could probably just about go to the end from where he is at the moment. It'd be a little squeeze, but if there's a safety car, it'd certainly aid that. And Tango closing that time gap a little bit onto Legend. His moves going on further down the field, although I think that battle has concluded. Yep. Oh, and Steiny again. Steiny just let an inch through, not even wanting to hold him up. The Dutchman helping out his fellow Dutchman. And all of a sudden, hang on, I've missed this. Scream is closed up onto the back of Taupe out of nowhere. He's reeled him in. He's got his DRS back. The two Alfa Romeos are 1-2 right next to each other once again. Looking like the team to beat in Tier 2 this season.
Very good drivers. These two, and then we got Jet making a move on AJ to P14 now.
Yeah, making the move, completing the move as well. Very nicely done by him up into turn 3. So here we go, then the front runners coming back into those DRS zones. That's where we're seeing most of the action happen. Not many overtakes into turn 1 without a mistake to facilitate them. This run down into turn 3 where we see a lot of them, and then again into turn 4. Is he going to go for the move? Considers it, doesn't do it. Steiny picking up 3 more seconds of time penalty. Oh, hang on, what's this? Slowing down a little bit here. We're going to see a move by Hobbsy, perhaps. Hobbsy on the outside, burning some overtaking. All of a sudden, look how close these guys are between second and third. Nello swinging to the outside. Is he going to get him cut back? No, not quite. He's looking for the move. Outside, inside. Settles in behind, decides not to risk it just yet. Just over 10 laps remaining now.
I was focusing on the battle between AJ and Farrell there. They were 3 wide going up to turn 2 and turn 3. Very close racing between them 3.
Yeah, as I think we might be about to see Strange pit. Yep, Strange pulling into the pit lane. So you can see Hobbsy here getting a view of Scream finally overtaking Taupe. The Alfa Romeo swapping positions here. I imagine Taupe might get him back almost immediately based on the DRS. Is it going to happen? It's going to be a close one, but no, not near enough. Actually struggling a little bit with the dirty air. Has not had to deal with it for quite a while now.
Wait, so you're just getting past the house of T-Griff there? But, wait, so he has a penalty, T-Griff doesn't.
Yeah, it's just catching the tail end there of Jet overtaking Jacob. Although I say overtaking, Jacob's not letting it go easy, trying to fight it back, but in the end he's having to surrender. Settling into P13, fighting for that last points position. And Legend, the man in P5, getting a 3-second time penalty. That really takes him out of contention, because he was one of the front runners. Oh, also T-Griff. That front group, the top 6, oh, nose to tail, and you can see just how close they all are here on track. Let's actually see the gap to the leader. Yeah, Tango only 1.8 behind, all so close together, and the back two with penalties preventing them from really getting the podium here.
I think what happened to Legend was he just got turn one a bit too much there, and obviously he got his penalty, which is quite unfortunate. Let's see, will he see how close these guys can get to each other.
Yeah, the start of lap 29. Now 8 laps remaining. Who's going to go for moves? Are we going to see anything going on? The Ferrari right on the tail of the Williams there. Nello getting his nose in is strange, setting fastest lap on those softs he went on to. I think deciding if he's not going to get points, he may as well get fastest lap. And look at this top 6.
Nello.
Contact the two Williams.
No, Nello hit the back of Hobbsy there.
Oh yeah, of course, no, Hobbsy's gone. Hobbsy dropping down to P7 out of that battle. Nello himself dropping back from those front 4, and actually that's made a split. The two Alfa Romeos now have a gap of 1.6 to Tango and Legend, who themselves both the penalties, looking all the more better for Alfa Romeo there, and really bringing into play who was going to get that 3rd position in the end. Laconia 10th between tier 3 and tier 2 pole. Here we go, Legend getting past Tango. Now at the moment these guys are fighting for P3. The problem is, the more they fight, the more Nelu Safi can close that gap up to them, and the penalties will put him ahead of them. However, if Nelu did hit Hobbsy off, he's going to get a penalty post-race. I don't know. Who we call on track might not be who gets it in the end.
I'm not sure what happened myself there. It was just, I think Nelly was trying to get as close as possible to Hobbsy and then hit him and then sent him into a spin.
Yeah, it's Jet getting past De Will again. These battles still ongoing further down the field as well as at the front. Jacob right on the back of Cal Cohen. There's Nelu Safu himself gets 3 seconds time penalties and drops down the order. What has happened to him?
I think he's just lost composure there after the contact with Hobbsy there. I think he's just
it goes too deep into turn 1
a little bit.
It's the two leaders chopping and changing again. Tope back into the lead. Right, so Hobbsy overtaken by T-Griff, which actually is impressive given T-Griff is on 24 lap old hard tyres. The madman. And here we go. This looks like he's going back for the move down into turn 4 on the outside. Can he do it? T-Griff really not giving him much room at all, and Hobbsy did not stand a chance with the amount of track he had to play with.
Hard but fair racing from T-Griff there. Just leave him enough room to where there's a car.
Leave him a car, don't leave him a racing line.
Yeah, exactly. This battle's still going on between Strange and Duel, but Duel's coming back at him. Will he try and go for a move? No, he doesn't.
Nah, Strange looks like he's more like to get Cal Cohen here. I mean, he's so fast on those soft tyres. He might actually get himself back up into the points if he can avoid getting a penalty here. The two leaders again changing down into turn 3. Strange working his way up through the field. What a send into turn 1 using those fresh soft tyres to go for a move. We'll hop on board again with the two leaders. As once again we're going to see a lead change Can he hold it around the outside? That's not going to happen, or maybe it is going to happen. Who's going to come out on top in the end? Taupe on the outside, and Taupe does come out on top of Scream. These two must be having so much fun. I mean, teammates 1-2 having a fun little battle. Penalties for the guys behind them. 2-second gap. It doesn't get much better than that for a race driver.
No, I guess it doesn't, but Hobbsy and Tigriff still having a little battle, and now we see Cal Cohen and Duell having a battle themselves. Duell trying to go around the outside, that makes it the inside for these next two corners.
Yeah,
Will
is
it
he going to
happen for
back
the AlphaTauri?
out? Ooh, he has to if he doesn't want to lose his front wing. Cal Cohen doing a good job there on those older hard tyres. 4 laps to go now. Again, lead change going on. And hang on, Hobbsy's got past Tigriff. And Nelu Safu in shambles right the way down to P8. Although closing down on Tigriff, let's hope he doesn't outbrake himself. I think he might here. No, actually breaks early. Can't get the cutback. He just surprisingly doesn't have the tyres against Tigriff, who must be risking a puncture at this point with his tyre wear.
Yeah.
Battles
very
happening
close.
all over the field. I mean, it's hard to keep up with everything that's going on. I feel like I'm missing half the overtakes. Probably more than half the overtakes going on. As Steiny has had an off. Was battling Farrell, but now further down the order. So it's closing down on his teammate. Yellow for Steiny again, another mistake by him. Hot tyres, once you've gone once, you're going to go again.
24 lap out mediums and 26 lap out for Farrell, but saying that, he's just came into the pits.
Yes, here we go. It does get DeWill. Jacob side by side with Jet. Camera angle not really showing both cars, but you can see Jet going for the cutback. And hang on, what's this? Tigriff and who's the other one?
I think that
Nelu Safu and Tigriff.
Safu
Caught up in yet another incident. Not what he wants to be doing. Now heading on to lap 35. 2 laps to go. And Tigriff and Nelu Safu flying down the order. Nelu Safu, more penalties for him. We're going to watch the final 2 laps between the 2 Alfa Romeos. Who is going to come out on top? Which of the 2 teammates? Or are they going to push each other too hard and one of them going to crash out here?
Again, spinning. Spun in turn 10 there.
Yeah, from bad to worse for him. Nelu into the pits. Speeding into the pits. He'll be retiring. Yep, there we go. Scream. Looks like he'll be the one going into lap 36 out of 36 with the lead. 2.5 seconds back to the Williams of legend behind. Williams, who has a 3-second time penalty, although he's still looking to get that third place. Actually, Legend and Tango are fighting on track for that third place. Enough of a gap down to Hobbsy that they should be okay here to hold on to it. They can afford to push each other a little bit.
I was speaking about Jet earlier, about him being so far down. I think I take back my statement.
Yeah, he's worked his way up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's back up into P9. Well done from the Mercedes driver. And
Strange has impressed me as well, choosing to go onto those saucers. Here we go for the lead on the last lap. Taupe on the inside of Scream, and Scream going to let that happen because Scream knows now he has the DRS. As long as he's not pushed wide here, he'll have faster speeds down the straight. Look at the amount of overtake he has. He can almost afford to deploy the entirety of the rest of the lap. Does he have enough momentum to get it here round the outside? What can he do? Brakes later. And Scream has done it. A small moment there by Taupe, and that is the traction difference. That is Scream coming out on top. It's Tigriff speeding in the pit lane, also choosing to retire in P14. But here we go. This battle, I think, has come to a close, and Scream has been the stronger Alfa Romeo. If he can hold it through the last 2 corners, very easy to defend on those 2. He's got the overtake, and you can see 60% left compared to the 16 of Taupe. But either way, absolute display of dominance from Alfa Romeo. That has got to put a smile on the Alfa Romeo boys' face. They come across the line. Legend picking up that P3, Tango just behind. Then Waitsy, who will be sniped by Hobbsy. Hobbs at P5. Strange on his soft strategy, making that work in the end. Very few penalties for him as well. P7 for him. Then Dylan, Jet, Jacob. Id's going up a few due to penalties. DeWill also going up one due to penalties. And Jacob getting the last point. Cal Cohen, P13, just missing out on the last point. But then actually Farrell, I think, will get Nolsey in the end for P14 due to the penalties involved here. Trying to work out though who got fastest lap in the end. It was Strange who got fastest lap. So he is going to get that one extra bonus point unless Farrell can get it off him, which I doubt will happen, given Nolsey is ahead, giving him the dirty air. It's Nolsey giving a little weave across the line, and there we go, 5 seconds for an unserved drive through. His car crashing across the line as Steiny, creative use of track limits there, actually nearly spinning there. But here we go. Hang on, has he even made it to the line? He's lost his front wing. He's not at the line yet. You've gone a bit early there, mate. He's doing donuts.
Oh God. Is there a way to give two drivers drive for the day?
What,
I'll give it to both. I'll give it both to the Alfa Romeo drivers even.
Who was it got that P3 in the end? I'm blanking.
Legend.
Oh yeah. Right, I'll ask those three podium boys if they want to have a post-race interview after that absolutely crazy race there.
Yeah. So there's
Sounds
two
like
incidents we don't know what happened. There was one between Strange and T-Griff, and there was one between T-Griff and Sefu. But
yeah, but
I wonder what happened between them.
that is how you drive. And the Alfa Romeo has completely owned that race. Hobbsy, a shame for him in the end, down to P5 after that contact. We didn't really get a good view of the front two, keeping it clean, racing their hearts out. That is Scream going to be getting the 30 points, or provisionally going to be getting the 30 points. Excuse me. So as of yet, none of the drivers said anything about post-race interview, so we might not get anyone in here. Here we go to run through the order again. Podium, Scream, Taupe and Legend. Then Tango P4, Hobbsy 5th, 6th for Waitsy, 7th for Strange, plus the fastest lap bonus point. Dylan, Ids and Jet finishing out the top 10, and DeWill and Jacob getting those last couple of points. Then Cal Cohen, Frau, Nolsey, Steiny, T-Griff and Nelly Safu finishing out the order. Only pit lane retirements, no on-track retirements. We just had one VSC, no safety cars, so to speak of. Want to give me another 30 seconds to look at this.
But yeah, I don't know who to give it to. I don't know whether to give it to Scream or Taupe, to be honest.
Well, I think he's got to go to Scream in the end.
I guess so.
He won. And yeah, in the end of it came down to it, and he was the one who was able to win that race. Coming from P4, they came from P4 and 5 on the grid. Actually, it was 4, 5, and 6 on the grid who did so well. Hobbsy, Strange flew down the order. Where even was the person who started in P3 in the end? T-Griff down in 17th. Yeah, really struggled, retired in the pits in the end after just getting caught up with all sorts of different things going on. Right, so the two Alfa Romeos will not be joining for the post-race interview. One's got internet problems, the other one doesn't have time this time. Yet to hear from Legend, but I think we'll go on assuming not, as I've not heard a word out of him. I know he has said something. Don't know. We'll assume he's not bothered. Which means I need to stick the link for Tier 1 in the chat. And we need to wrap up what was a very mental both quali and race. I think that's one of the most exciting races I've seen.
Yeah, it's very, very close racing for the first race of the season. I don't know if anything will top that. We had 6 cars battling for the lead at one point. Which is kind of crazy to think.
Yeah, huge trains of people battling. The qualifying in itself was crazy enough. I mean, what a way to open Season 9 for Tier 2. And Austria actually always quite a shorter race in terms of just how long it takes, because the laps are so short, such a high average speed. All those overtaking opportunities as well. In the end, a few incidents, so to speak of, but none ridiculously bad incidents. No drivers taken out by them. Taken out of the race, just dropped down the order. But I think from us, that is going to be it until next time. Unless you have anything to say?
No, nothing else to say. Apart from I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed soon.
Actually, what we will quickly mention is next week we will be racing at Suzuka, going to Japan. That is always an interesting track, especially
True.
first sector. And if it rains, those Suzuka S's, they are out for blood. So that could be a very, very interesting race again. And after this one, I'm hugely looking forward to next Thursday.
Yeah.
But from us, that is goodbye until next week.